Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to be here with all of you today. We're diving into a very powerful, impactful topic: how to control 4 key areas of our lives: our mouth, our mood, our money, and our mind. And who better to guide us through this than the man who's lived these principles? Steve Harvey. Now, Steve Harvey is a name most of us know. He's a comedian, TV host, author, and motivational speaker, known not just for his humor, but for his wisdom in life. And when we talk about mastering these 4 areas, it's essential to understand that they're not just about getting by, they're about thriving. Let me tell you something, folks. The words that come out of your mouth are more powerful than you think. You see, when you speak, you are casting a spell on your own life. You are creating your reality with every single word you utter. I've said it before and I'll say it again. What you say out of your mouth will come to pass. You've got to realize your mouth is one of the most powerful tools you have, whether you're aware of it or not. Think about it. How many times have you said something like, "I'll never be able to do that," or "I'm not good enough for that"? What do you think happens when you say things like that? You're setting yourself up for failure before you even start. You're speaking defeat into your life. And that, my friends, is where many people go wrong. You've got to stop saying things that keep you in the struggle and start speaking things that push you towards your destiny. Now, this doesn't mean you walk around acting like everything is perfect when it's not. I'm not saying you should be fake or ignore reality. What I'm telling you is that you've got to choose your words wisely. Your words create the blueprint for your life. Think about how much power you give away when you let negativity take over your tongue. If you speak defeat, failure, and doubt, that's exactly what you'll get. But when you speak life, when you speak possibilities, when you speak success, that's the energy that will start showing up in your life. Yeah. I'm going to tell you a little story. I remember when I was struggling to make it as a comedian. I wasn't getting the gigs I wanted. I was barely scraping by. Something clicked in my mind. I realized that if I kept talking about how tough things were, that's all I'd ever get. Tough times. So I started speaking differently. I started saying, I'm going to make it. I'm going to be on TV. I'm going to be successful. Now, don't get me wrong. I still had struggles. I was still broke, still facing rejection, but I refused to let that define me. I made the decision that my words were going to be the driver, not the passenger. I'm telling you, this works. If you want to change your life, change the way you speak. There's a saying I live by: your words become your world. It's the truth. When you talk about what you want, not what you don't want, you start moving in that direction. The more you say it, the more you believe it. And before you know it, your life starts to look like the words you've been speaking. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about being positive all the time. It's not just about speaking a few good things and expecting everything to fall into place. No, this is about consistency. This is about every day, all day, staying in alignment with what you say. That's the real work. It's easy to speak success when things are going great, but can you still speak life when the situation looks hopeless? That's the true test. This is the power of faith in words. Faith isn't just about believing, it's about speaking your belief into existence. When you speak positively, when you declare what you want, you're putting your faith in motion. You're aligning your thoughts, your words, and your actions all in one direction, toward your goals. If you want to see change, you've got to start with what comes out of your mouth. And listen, I get it. Life isn't easy. It throws curveballs at you. People let you down. Things don't always go the way you plan, but you cannot let that control your tongue. When life gets tough, that's when your words matter most. You've got to stay focused. You've got to speak victory even when you're staring defeat in the face. That's what separates the winners from the losers. It's not about never facing challenges. It's about how you speak to yourself when things get rough. So here's the challenge for you. From this moment forward, be intentional with your words. Stop saying things like, "I can't," "I'm not good enough," or "this will never happen." Start saying things like, "I will," "I am capable," "success is on the way." Speak your life into existence. Speak your dreams, your hopes, your success. It might feel strange at first, but keep doing it and watch how your life begins to change. Your mouth is the first step in creating the life you want. If you can control that, you've got the power to control everything else. You've got the power to turn your dreams into reality. So start today. Speak victory, speak abundance, speak greatness into your life. And remember, what you say is what you get. So say it loud, say it proud, and watch the doors of opportunity swing wide open for you. Let me tell you, controlling your mood is one of the most important things you can do in life. People are out here letting their emotions rule them. But if you want to live a successful life, you have to learn how to take control of your moods, especially when life starts testing you. Life is going to throw all kinds of things at you: disappointments, setbacks, people trying to push your buttons. The key isn't to avoid those things. The key is to control how you react to them. And that, my friends, is where the power lies. You got to understand that your emotions are powerful, but they don't have to control you. I've seen it time and time again. People let their feelings dictate their decisions, and that's where they go wrong. Look, I'm not saying you should never get angry, frustrated, or upset. We're all human. But what I'm telling you is this: when you let those feelings take over, you lose control of your own life. And when you lose control of your emotions, you let life control you. That's how you end up stuck in a cycle of negativity, frustration, and regret. Think about this: when something goes wrong, maybe you don't get the promotion you were hoping for, or someone betrays your trust, what's the first thing you do? Do you allow your anger or sadness to take over? Do you get bitter, start complaining, and let your mood ruin your whole day? Let me tell you something. That's a trap. You have to rise above it. You have to be stronger than your feelings. Your mood is a choice, and you have to choose to stay positive and focused even when everything around you is trying to pull you down. I'm going to be real with you. I've been through some tough times. There were moments when I didn't know how I was going to make it. But one thing I learned is that I couldn't afford to let my emotions get the best of me. If I wanted to make it out of those tough situations, I had to keep my head on straight. I had to decide that no matter what happened, I was going to stay focused, calm, and let me tell you, that decision changed everything for me. Now, I know it's not always easy. Life can be hard, people can be cruel. But that's when you need to dig deep and say, I am in control. My emotions don't control me. It's about taking a step back and not letting the circumstances dictate your state of mind. You have the power to choose how you respond, and that's where your true strength lies. I'll tell you something else. When you control your mood, you start to control your destiny. You see, success isn't just about what you do. It's about how you respond to what's happening around you. People who succeed in life are the ones who can stay calm and collected when everyone else is losing their head. They don't let a bad day turn into a bad week, or a bad week turn into a bad year. They understand that moods are temporary, but the way you handle them can change the course of your life. One thing I always tell people is this: when life hits you with challenges, don't react, respond. And the difference is huge. Reactions come from emotions. Responses come from a place of control. If you're reacting to life's challenges, you're letting your emotions run the show. But when you respond, you're taking a step back, think about your next move, and deciding how you're going to handle the situation. That's what winners do. They respond with purpose and intention, no matter what's going on around them. Now, let's talk about how you can actually start controlling your mood. First of all, it's about awareness. You've got to become aware of how you're feeling in the moment. If you're angry, upset, or frustrated, acknowledge it. Don't try to deny your feelings, but don't let them control you either. Just recognize where you are emotionally, and then make a conscious decision to shift your mood. It's all about making that choice. It's like hitting the reset button on your emotion. Next, you got to develop some techniques to keep your mood in check. For me, it's about taking a deep breath and pausing before reacting. Sometimes when I feel my emotions rising, I'll step away from the situation, take a minute to collect my thoughts, and remind myself of my goals. I focus on what I'm trying to achieve, and that helps me put things in perspective. When you focus on your vision, your mood will shift from frustration to determination. You also need to surround yourself with positive energy. If you're around negative people, it's hard to keep a good mood. That's why I always tell people to be mindful of who they're hanging out with. If you're constantly around people who are complaining, criticizing, or dragging you down, that negativity will start to rub off on you. You've got to protect your peace and find peace. Lastly, practice gratitude. When you're feeling low, take a moment to think about all the things you're grateful for. Gratitude has a way of shifting your mindset from lack to abundance. It reminds you that no matter how tough things get, you've got blessings in your life that are worth celebrating. That attitude of gratitude will transform your mood and your life. So remember this, you are in control of your mood. Your emotions don't have to run the show. Take control, choose your response, and watch how your life begins to change. You've got the power within you to stay calm, focused, and positive, no matter what's going on around you. Don't let your feelings decide your future. You've got greatness inside of you, and controlling your mood is the first step in bringing that greatness to life. Let me tell you something about money, folks. Money is important, but it's not the most important thing in life. What's more important is how you manage it. You see, a lot of people think that once they start making money, all their problems will go away, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Money is a tool, and if you don't know how to use it, it can ruin you. I've been on both sides of the coin. I've had plenty of money and I've had nothing. I know what it's like to be broke and I know what it's like to have more than enough. The one thing I can tell you for sure is this: your relationship with money matters. If you don't control it, it will control you. And when it controls you, you'll find yourself caught in a cycle of stress, bad decisions, and living paycheck to paycheck. But if you learn to manage it, money can work for you. It can open doors for you. It can give you the freedom to live life on your terms. So let's talk about how to get that right. The first thing you've got to understand is that money is a tool, not the goal. People chase money because they think it will solve all their problems. But what money does is amplify who you really are. If you're a person who doesn't know how to handle money, more money will just expose your lack of discipline. That's why I always tell people, if you can't manage $10,000, you can't manage $100,000. You've got to learn how to manage the small stuff before you can handle the big stuff. One of the first things you've got to do is live below your means. And I'm not just talking about cutting back on the lattes. I'm talking about real financial discipline. Too many people live paycheck to paycheck because they want to keep up with the Joneses. They see someone with a fancy car or a big house and think they need to have that too. But let me tell you something. Those people aren't the ones you should be comparing yourself to. Your financial success is personal to you. It's about your own goals, not about trying to impress people you don't even like. I used to make that mistake. When I started making money, I went out and bought things I couldn't afford just so I could show off. But that kind of thinking got me nowhere fast. It wasn't until I started living below my means, saving, investing, and being smart with my money that I really started to see financial freedom. I stopped trying to impress others, and I focused on my own financial health. Another thing is you've got to save and invest. Now, I know there are a lot of people out here who think saving is for suckers, but they couldn't be more wrong. If you're not saving money, you're living on borrowed time. Life is unpredictable. There will be emergencies, opportunities, and unexpected events that will come your way. If you don't have something set aside for a rainy day, you're going to find yourself in a bad spot when life hits you with a curveball. And I'm not just talking about saving for the sake of saving. I'm talking about saving with a purpose. You need to be putting money away for your future, for your retirement, for your kids' education, for those opportunities that come out of nowhere. If you're not saving, you're missing out on building the foundation for your future. That's how you create financial security and freedom. But saving isn't enough. You also need to invest. Now, I'm not saying you got to start playing the stock market tomorrow, but I am saying you need to think about where your money's going. Your money should be working for you, not the other way around. You can start small. Maybe it's investing in a mutual fund, real estate, or a business venture. But whatever it is, start making your money work for you. That's how you build wealth over time. Now, let me talk to you about debt. Debt is a trap. It's one of the biggest obstacles to financial freedom. If you're constantly paying off credit cards, loans, or other debts, it's going to be hard to get ahead. The goal is to get out of debt and stay out of debt. Now, I know it's not always easy. We live in a world where people are constantly encouraging us to buy things we don't need with money we don't have. But I'm here to tell you, debt will eat you alive if you don't control it. So get serious about paying down your debts. And when you do get ahead, make sure you stay ahead. Don't fall back into the cycle of borrowing more than you can pay off. Lastly, let me tell you this. Wealth doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, it takes discipline, it takes planning, but most importantly, it takes the right mindset. If you're constantly thinking about how broke you are or how you'll never make it, guess what? That's exactly what you'll get. Your mindset is everything when it comes to money. You got to believe that you deserve financial success and that you can achieve it. And you've got to put in the work to make it happen. So remember this, money is a tool and it's up to you to learn how to use it. Live below your means, save and invest wisely, stay out of debt, and most importantly, believe in your ability to build wealth. Money may not be the most important thing in life, but it sure does make life a lot easier when you know how to manage it. Don't let money control you. Take control of it and watch how it can transform your life. Let me tell you something about your mind. Your mind is the engine that drives everything in your life. It's the foundation of everything you do. Whatever is happening in your mind, you're going to see it in your life. If your mind is filled with negativity, doubt, and fear, that's exactly what you'll see manifest. But if your mind is filled with possibility, ambition, and belief, that's the life you'll create. Your mind is where your success starts, and if you want to unlock your full potential, you've got to learn how to take control of it. Now, you have to understand that your mind is constantly working whether you're aware of it or not. Every thought you have is either pushing you towards success or pulling you away from it. You see, it's not just about what you think, it's about what you believe. Your beliefs are the thoughts that you hold on to the most, and they become the filter through which you view the world. If you believe that you're not capable of something, guess what? Your actions will align with that belief and you won't even try. But if you believe that you can do anything, if you believe that success is within your reach, you'll begin taking steps toward making that belief a reality. The first thing you got to do is be aware of what's going on in your mind. Do you have a habit of thinking negative thoughts? Are you constantly doubting yourself, telling yourself that you're not good enough, not smart enough, or not worthy of success? If that's the case, I need you to stop right now. Those thoughts are holding you back from your potential. You've got to change the way you think if you want to change the way you live. The truth is, the mind is a terrible master, but a great servant. If you let your mind control you, it will take you to places you don't want to go. But if you take control of your mind, you'll direct it wherever you want it to go. One of the most important things you can do is take control of your self-talk. You see, the way you talk to yourself determines how you feel about yourself. If you're constantly telling yourself you're not enough or you can't do something, you're conditioning your mind to believe that. But if you start talking to yourself like you've already successful, like you've already made it, your mind will start believing that too. That's how you get confidence. It doesn't come from what other people say about you. It comes from the way you speak to yourself. When you believe in yourself, when you truly think you're capable of achieving greatness, that belief will propel you forward. Now, I'm not saying you'll never have negative thoughts. They're going to come. But here's the thing. You've got to catch them. You've got to be aware enough to recognize when your thoughts are going in the wrong direction. When a negative thought enters your mind, don't let it settle in. Counter it with a positive affirmation. For every negative thought, you should have 5 positive ones ready to replace it. The more you do this, the easier it will become. Over time, you'll train your mind to look for the positive instead of the negative. Another thing you've got to do is feed your mind with the right information. You can't expect to be successful if you're constantly consuming negativity. Whether it's the news, social media, or the people you hang around with, if you're filling your mind with negativity, you're setting yourself up for failure. Instead, feed your mind with things that inspire you, things that challenge you, things that make you grow. Read books, listen to motivational speakers, surround yourself with people who have the same drive and ambition as you. You are who you hang with, so make sure the people in your circle are pushing you to be your best self. Let me tell you something. Your mind is like a garden. If you don't plant the right seeds, weeds will grow. If you don't plant thoughts of success, abundance, and opportunity, your mind will fill up with thoughts of fear, doubt, and limitation. And once those weeds take root, it's hard to get them out. But if you plant seeds of greatness, seeds of belief, seeds of possibility, your mind will start to produce the fruits of your labor. And that's when things start to change. It's all about what you allow to grow in your mind. The moment you allow negativity and doubt to take root, they begin to take over. But when you flood your mind with positive thoughts, affirmations, and ideas of success, you're building the foundation for greatness. This is where it starts. If you want to change your life, you've got to start by changing the way you think. But let's be real for a second. Changing your mindset isn't going to happen overnight. It's a process. It's a daily commitment to yourself. You got to make a decision that you're going to think differently and that no matter what happens, you will stay focused on the positive. When you control your mind, you take control of your life. You have the ability to decide what your life will look like, and it all starts with the way you think. So the next time you catch yourself thinking you can't do something, I want you to stop. I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and say, yes, I can. Yes, I will. You've got to believe in yourself like nobody else does. Your mind is the key to unlocking your potential. And once you learn to take control of it, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Don't let negative thoughts keep you down. Take charge, feed your mind with positivity, and start creating the life you've always dreamed of. The power is in your mind, and it's time to tap into it. Let me tell you something that will change your life. Success doesn't come from wishful thinking. It doesn't come from luck, and it sure as heck doesn't come from waiting for the perfect moment. Success comes from being consistent. It's the small, everyday actions that stack up and lead to big results. And when I say consistency, I'm talking about showing up day after day, even when you don't feel like it. Even when the world is telling you it's not worth it. You've got to put in the work, and you've got to do it consistently. Look, I've been in the game long enough to know that a lot of people want success, but not a lot of people are willing to put in the time and effort it takes to get there. You see, we live in a world that wants instant gratification. People want success right now without putting in the blood, sweat, and tears. But here's the truth. Success doesn't work like that. You can't build a solid foundation overnight. It's a process. It's a marathon, not a sprint. When I first started out, I didn't have it all figured out. Heck, I didn't even have a clear plan in the beginning. But one thing I did know was that I wasn't going to quit. I was going to keep showing up every single day. I was going to do whatever it took to make sure that I was moving forward, even if it was just a little bit at a time. And let me tell you something. Those little steps, those tiny actions, they added up. Over time, they turned into something big. But here's the thing. Life will test you. You'll hit bumps in the road. You'll have days when you feel like nothing is working, when everything seems to be falling apart. But this is where the magic happens. You've got to stay consistent even when you don't see the results right away. When you hit those hard times, and you will hit them, stay focused on your goal and keep showing up. That's the key. It's about persistence, not perfection. The biggest mistake I see people make is giving up too soon. They try something for a little while, and when they don't see instant results, they throw in the towel. They think, well, this must not be for me. But I'm here to tell you that success doesn't work like that. Success is about staying in the game long enough to make the breakthrough. It's about trusting the process. I promise you, if you stay consistent and keep doing the work, the results will come. They might not come right away, but they will come. And consistency doesn't just apply to your career or business. It applies to every area of your life. If you want to improve your health, you've got to show up every day. If you want to build better relationships, you've got to put in the work day in and day out. If you want to improve your mindset, you got to consistently feed your mind with positive thoughts and affirmations. Whatever it is that you want to achieve, you've got to show up for it. It's about building habits that lead you to success. And it's those habits done consistently that will eventually change your life. Another thing I want to mention is that success doesn't always look the way you expect it to. You may not see immediate progress, but that doesn't mean you're not moving in the right direction. When you're consistent, even when you don't see results, you're planting seeds. And sometimes you won't even see the growth until later on. That's why consistency is so important. It's not just about what you can see in the moment, it's about what you're building for the future. And remember this, You are what you do consistently. Your habits shape who you are. If you're consistently showing up late, that's who you are. If you're consistently negative, that's who you are. If you're consistently lazy, that's who you are. But if you're consistently focused, if you're consistently showing up, if you're consistently putting in the work, guess what? That's who you're going to become. A person of success, a person of achievement, a person who gets things done. You have to develop habits of success, and that comes with consistency. Let me give you a little secret. Success is all about doing the things that nobody else is willing to do. It's about pushing through when everyone else is quitting. It's about getting up early, working late, and doing whatever it takes to make your dreams a reality. The people who succeed are the ones who show up day in and day out. They don't make excuses, and they don't give up when things get tough. They're the ones who stay in the game long enough to see the results. So here's what I want you to take away from all of this. Success doesn't happen because of a lucky break or a one-time big win. Success happens because you show up. It happens because you stay consistent, even when you don't feel like it, even when you're tired, even when it feels like the whole world is against you. Consistency is the key to success. Keep showing up, keep doing the work, and trust that the results will come. Stay committed to your goals no matter what, and you'll get there. It's just a matter of time. Let me tell you something important. You are the company you keep. That's right. The people around you, the ones you choose to spend time with, they have a direct impact on your life. They can either lift you up or drag you down. I don't care how smart you are, how talented you are, or how many resources you have. If you're hanging around the wrong people, you're not going to go anywhere. It's a harsh truth, but it's the truth nonetheless. All right, what you guys say? If you want to elevate your life, you've got to be serious about who you let into your circle. When I first started out, I didn't know everything, and I didn't have all the right people around me. But as I grew, I started to realize the importance of surrounding myself with the right kind of people, people who were positive, who were driven, who had the same mindset and ambition as I did. I didn't need anyone around me who was going to hold me back or tell me why something couldn't be done. I needed people who were going to encourage me, push me, and help me grow. Success is not a solo journey. It's a journey that requires the right support system. And let me tell you, this is something you cannot take lightly. You have to understand that the people you surround yourself with will either fuel your dreams or suffocate them. If you're hanging around people who are negative, who talk about what's wrong with the world, or who are always finding excuses for why things can't be done, then guess what? You're going to be just like them. You'll start thinking just like they do. You'll start seeing the world through their lens of limitations. And let me tell you, that's a dangerous place to be. Negative people are like anchors. They weigh you down. They drain your energy. They steal your time, and they keep you stuck. You cannot afford to be around people who are constantly putting doubt in your mind. On the flip side, when you surround yourself with people who are positive, who are constantly growing and improving, who are pushing themselves to be better every day, that energy becomes contagious. Their success and ambition rub off on you. You start thinking bigger. You start believing in yourself more. You begin to see that if they can do it, you can do it too. A circle should challenge you to grow, to become better, to aim higher. The right people are going to push you to do things that you never thought you could do. They're going to hold you accountable. They're going to celebrate your wins and lift you up when you're down. They're going to help you see opportunities when you only see obstacles. And I'll tell you this, there are 3 types of people you need to have around you. The ones who inspire you, the ones who push you, and the ones you can teach. You need mentors. You need people who are ahead of you, who have walked the path and can show you the way. These are the people who have the wisdom and experience to help you avoid mistakes and reach your goals fast. But you also need peers, people who are on the same journey as you, people who understand what you're going through and can support you through it. And don't forget about the people you can help. One of the best ways to grow is by helping others grow. When you teach someone else, you reinforce your own knowledge, and you create a circle of support and encouragement that goes both ways. Now, I know that sometimes it can be hard to let go of people who've been in your life for a long time. Maybe they're family, or maybe they're old friends. But let me tell you, if someone is not contributing to your growth, if they're not pushing you to be your best self, they have to go. This is tough, but it's necessary. You cannot afford to hold on to toxic relationships out of loyalty or fear. You're trying to elevate, and sometimes that means making hard decisions. You've got to let go of the people who are holding you back, even if you love them, even if you've known them for years. You can't let them keep you stuck in the same place. If you're the smartest person in the room, it's time to find a new room. If you're not being challenged, it's time to step up your circle. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but Steve, I can't just get rid of people. And I hear you, it's tough. But what I'm telling you is this: your success is non-negotiable. Your dreams and your future are worth more than staying in relationships that are holding you back. You have to prioritize your growth. When you surround yourself with the right people, you start thinking differently. You start making better choices. You start seeing the world through the eyes of possibility, not limitation. And that's when things start to change. Lastly, let me tell you, you've got to be the person you want to attract. If you want to be around positive, successful people, you've got to be positive and successful yourself. It all starts with you. You have to be the kind of person who is willing to put in the work, who is willing to grow, who is willing to show up day after day. When you're that person, the right people will naturally gravitate toward you. The law of attraction, like attracts like. So remember this: your circle is everything. You need to choose your people wisely. Surround yourself with those who challenge you, inspire you, and support you. Don't settle for anything less. Your success depends on it.